Is it possible to grieve despite knowing God is good? Is it possible Abraham and Sarah, when receiving their baby Isaac, still grieved the fact that they had spent the years of their youth childless? Were there no things that they felt they could have done had they been younger and stronger? Is it only me that finds it hard to always be grateful and never complain or ask God questions of why my miracle had to wait so long? It certainly requires faith to let go of grief and embrace hope. It takes grace to remind myself I will never get back the days and years that have passed. But if what I have in front of me is more important than my past, I may not need an answer to my why. I can definitely recognize my grief and yet choose not to dwell on it. At least I can pray for hope to fill my heart, ask for grace to be grateful, and remember the fact that without the past, I would not be the person I am in the present. Some pain definitely seems to be in vain, and it seems useless why God would allow His children to go through seasons of indescribable pain. I'm not referring to myself, because I sincerely don't believe I have experienced any pain greater than what is common to humans in this time. I know, though, that there are others who have suffered and continue to suffer things that cannot be imagined, and still some who have been victims of the worst agonizing pain on this earth choose to live in the present and not dwell on the pains of their past. I'm not a psychologist, and I don't know all the processes involved in grieving, but I do know it is human to grieve. And the Bible mentions people who grieved. Even God seemed grieved in His heart when He saw the wickedness of man in Genesis 6. So even God, who does not make mistakes, has the capacity to feel something similar to what can be described as grief. But God grieving man's wickedness and Jesus weeping over people's unbelief seem to be a different type of grief than me grieving not getting the miracle I expected at my preferred time or according to my expectations. Do you remember Jacob, who grieved Joseph? He heard bad news that actually was false news. Certainly we would have felt the same as Jacob, and we don't blame him for grieving his son whom he believed had been killed by wild animals. This part of the story should, however, encourage us that maybe some of our own grief is based on false reports. Maybe we don't have the whole picture and the right perspective after all. I may not always feel this way, but I want to believe with Paul that our present sufferings are not even worth comparing with our future glory. It will be so much better there on the other side, and there will definitely be no more grief.
Winning in the pain, we follow our dreams. We work hard with diligence to overcome many hindrances and win what our heart desires. The desire is fulfilled, but then we desire another. And when that one comes, we still aspire for another. Is it a sign of our level of ingratitude or a reflection of our constant dissatisfaction of life on the side of eternity? Growing up as a child, I was full of expectations and dreams. At some point, things made sense, and I felt I was living the dream. But then, as I grew older, things began to shift, and I saw a different side of life. I experienced manipulation, broken dreams, and unmet expectations. Things did not go the way I had planned. Surely, this happens to everyone. Some people tell me to lower my expectations on life and stop striving to be the best. There will always be another one better than me, so why keep striving to be better than what I was yesterday? It took time, but slowly I started pinning down my motives and attitudes towards winning. Why should I win? And who am I when I'm losing? Does losing on the way to success even matter? Doesn't everyone lose in life? I don't think anyone enjoys losing, but surely some are better than others in handling it. Losing is not in my vocabulary, someone says, because I always win. Either I win the prize or I win a lesson. But some lessons in life I actually rather would have been without. No matter how they made me grow, I simply wish I didn't have to go through them because it was painful. But without the pain, I wouldn't be who I am today. And without that battle, I wouldn't have learned the important lesson that it is worth to fight for life. Had I given up then, I wouldn't have achieved what I have today. And if I give up now, I will not achieve what I can tomorrow. In that sense, I try not to chase materialistic dreams or goals with numbers. I'm chasing to become someone, to become the person God created me to be, a man with purpose. He is my dream. It is hard to explain because the battle is highly personal, and unless you have fought your own battle, you won't understand my reasons as to why it is worth it in the end. If you don't know my pain, you will never understand my praise.